Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Synergy of the Rose. I'm Claire Attio,
Hi everyone, this is Silvia Jaira.
and we're going to continue with the theme of the womb energies as they're coming in. Just as we were finishing the last episode, Sylvia was reminded of a very dark aspect of what young women are being coerced into participating in. And then we got into a discussion of what that actually meant and how can we actually help them, because obviously as older women, and we know it's like sons don't listen to their fathers, daughters don't listen to their mothers. And so we were having a discussion, how can we help, how can we get the importance of the divine feminine over to these young girls? How can we get them to see that they are being controlled and manipulated and used up by the patriarchal energies, so that they can no longer have the ability to embrace that womb energy? And from that conversation, what transpired was the absolute acknowledgement and confirmation for ourselves and from the divine with what we actually felt was the womb being the epicenter. If we take out religion, if we take out the stories of Noah, if we take out the stories of the watchers coming down and procreating with human women because they were so beautiful, if we take all that out of the equation and we just focus on the womb is the epicenter of direct connection and communication to the universe, to God, to whatever it is your belief systems are, but it's the epicenter.
Yeah. And they're trying to destroy that communication, that connection. And they're going to do whatever it takes. And with society nowadays, it's money, it's shiny, pretty things. And they're going to promise you everything you can make. If you use this, if you use your body and if you use your body, sell your body, and then if you do that and this and that, you're going to achieve this and that. You don't have to be smart, you don't have to be intelligent, you don't have to be like, they're feeding this to young girls so they can be their own person and be strong, and it's their body and they can do whatever they want. But what they're actually doing, they're just trying to destroy your communication with your higher self, with the world, with spirit, with the universe, because they know how powerful and strong you are, and they know how much you possess, and they're going to try to do whatever it takes to break that, to destroy that. And when that came through for me, I felt this agonizing feeling of how they're being lied to, and how they say like, yeah, but well, I can do this and then I'll be fine later. I'm like, no, you're not. You have been robbed from everything. And think of it as think of it as this beautiful, marvelous place where the nutrients are there to thrive and flourish, where you're thriving with all kinds of life. And you have this massive, what do you call it, industry of men trying to suck everything out of you and leaving you dry land. Why? Because you're like, oh, I'm giving and it's fine because I'm gonna get this in return. And they're just sucking everything out of you. At the end, that you're not gonna be able to procreate anything, whether it's yourself, your dignity, your peace of mind. Everything about you is going to be destroyed. And when I saw that, it really did. I wanted to cry because I was like, we need to say something. We, as older, wiser women, we need to talk to our younger female counterparts, our daughters, our nieces, our friends, and our neighbors, our young ones. I'm saying, like, I know it's so tempting. I get that, especially with this whole thing, the OnlyFans thing that I just learned about. I was like, oh my God, we need to say something, because these are beautiful girls and they're being so used. And I'm just,
Well, they're being told it's their bodies, and I think this is a thing. They're being told, oh, it's your body. You do with it what you want, and you have complete control, which one is kind of feeding that ego
Mm-hmm.
of a young woman. And let's be honest, we've all been there. And then they continue to feed it by saying you can earn X, Y, and Z, and then you can have that Gucci bag, then you can have those Prada shoes, then you can have X, Y, and Z, all the trappings
Mm-hmm.
of what society is pushing from the time they're born now. And but what they're not saying is what you're doing. And as Sylvia said, and the image that came in when she was talking there was of the womb being an incubator full of rich lust, fertile soil. And we're
Mm-hmm.
not talking about babies here, we're talking about energy, we're talking about creation, and creation, creating anything and everything you can actually dream of. This is not just babies, this is not just biology. And
Mm-hmm.
basically doing those things that they're wanting you to do to give you those trappings that they've already kind of programmed your mind into believing that that's what's needed to be flourishing in life. What they're actually doing is it's toxic rain being poured onto that fertile soil.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes completely barren. It becomes completely devoid of life and devoid of creation.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
the question is, how do we get this over to our young women? How do we, what I'm struggling, because I certainly don't want to go down a them and us road, because that's just playing into the matrix as well. This is not men against women. This is about women understanding their full power, their full potential, and getting young women to understand this, and getting young
Yeah.
women to understand that some of the actions that they take will come with dire consequences. But how do we get that across to them? How do we get them to listen? Because as I said in the very beginning, daughters don't listen to their mothers, sons don't listen to their fathers. How do we get this across? How are we able to teach the younger generations that they are a spectacular creation of creation?
Mm-hmm.
And so they need to nurture themselves in a very healthy way.
Absolutely. And this is where you guys come in. Help us find a way that we can talk to them. Because I don't want to come out judgment or judgmental either. Because that's the last thing I wanted us to do is go to another female. It's like, oh, what you're doing is wrong. But in the sense of like, hey, listen, you're hurting yourself. We care so much for you. We want you. We don't want you down the line to feel this emptiness, feel this obscurity, this rage of not knowing what happened. And sometimes maybe they were misguided, or it comes from generational past trauma that end up in these situations. But I think it's time for us to, when we see someone like that, is hold their hands and be like, we can do this together. Let's get you out of here and let's get you to your rightful place. You don't need that.
Yeah.
And then of course the other parts of, they're like dangling shiny expensive things in their face, and they have, well, I'm gonna have to pay my bills. There are other ways.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many ways for you to do that, and it's all within you, but they're gonna suck that out because they know that once you figure that out, there's nothing stopping you.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We're powerful. They're afraid. They've always been afraid of us, and for some reason that's why they want to control the womb, because once we have discovered our power, they know what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
We have forgotten what we can do. We forgot. They haven't.
Yeah. Remember the history. Look up the history. There were many, many more goddesses than there were gods.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about creating an imbalance. It's about creating balance. It's about creating equality and an equilibrium back on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's about bringing that divine creation to Earth, to humanity, and nurturing both the masculine and the feminine.
Mm-hmm. Because I believe that once we start healing ourselves as a feminine, as the maternal and creators and nurturers, we're gonna start healing everyone as a whole,
Yeah.
where our men will become masculine protectors. But it has to start somewhere. And I
Yeah.
think we need to look deep within ourselves and remember who we were,
Mhm.
ancient times when we were praised as we were supposed to because we were creators. And that's why they want to control the woman. That's why there's so many attacks on women. Um, yeah, the creativity,
Mhm.
like you said, that's what that's another cry for it as well. I think it's
Yeah.
crying as well because we're starting to awaken. We're starting to realize that. But um, right now my heart goes to the younger generation because I think they need to be guided and
Yeah.
not just guided back into their power.
Yeah.
So they can say no. So they can be like, no, thank you. I'm worth more than that.
And to be realistic, I mean, I don't know about you, Sylvia, but I've got to an age now that all those shiny things don't mean diddly squat.
Exactly.
But I would be lying if I said they didn't matter when I was in my 20s, because they did.
Yeah.
And if there was something that I couldn't have because it was financially out of my reach, it made me feel like a failure. It made me feel that I wasn't, it brought up all sorts, because I was running those programs, and those programs still exist. Those programs have still been implemented and implanted within the younger generations, if not more so. And so we can't be unrealistic here. We can't be saying, oh, no, you don't need that, because there is a desire within them that is not just going to go away
Yeah.
just because somebody in their 50s says, oh, well, you don't need that.
No, no, no. I think it's one of those things where it's about personal choice. If you like that stuff and it makes you happy, go for it. But not it shouldn't define who you are. It should just we all like pretty shiny things, as
Mhm.
I am guilty of it as well. We all like those things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying you don't have to destroy
Sell your
yourself.
soul, basically.
Yeah, destroy yourself to get that because you can still have it without having to damage yourself
Yeah.
and still get that. And there's other ways, and there's so many things that you can do, but it doesn't matter because once you just the value is not going to be the same. It's not going to have the same feeling of it.
That's what we need to do. We need to find a way of teaching them how they can have it without selling their souls. Sorry, it just dropped in as you
Yeah,
were
yeah,
talking. Then it
great.
was like, right, okay, I'm going to have to go away and meditate on this. I'm going to have to do some more journeying, because we have to find a pathway in which to teach them, which they can take. They can take that pathway, and they can have those. They can have and create the life that they want without selling their souls, without buying into the matrix that is there intentionally to
Mm,
destroy their very essence.
mm-hmm. I
I'm going
think
to
that
have to meditate on that one.
me
And if
too.
anybody
And
else has got any ideas, anybody else gets any information, drop in, put it in the comments, let us know. Let's work together. This is not about Sylvia and I putting it out and coming up with a pathway. This is about creating something globally,
mm-hmm,
all women of any age to use.
mm-hmm.
And that's bye bye from me.
And me. And we can't wait to hear from you. So leave us your comments and share your thoughts. Till next time.
Bye bye.